Once upon a night that hummed with stars and whispered winds, a boy named Micah lay in bed beneath a quilt stitched with suns, moons, and quiet giraffes. He was 6 years old, with a heart full of stories and eyes like polished cocoa beans that twinkled in the moonlight. Micah loved bedtime. It was when his grandma Nia told stories from long ago, tales of wise lions, talking winds, and hidden drums that held the power of dreams. She called these stories Nyota tales, star stories, because they traveled on starlight and bloomed in children's hearts. Micah, she'd say, rocking beside his bed, every dream you have is part of your story. Even the strange ones. Even the ones that make your toes curl. That night, the wind knocked gently at Micah's window. He sat up. The breeze carried a soft sound, doom, 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 like a heartbeat wrapped in honey. A drumbeat. Micah tiptoed to the window and peeked out. Nothing. But the sound pulsed in the air, warm and inviting. He turned around and noticed something unusual. His grandmother's rocking chair, which always sat still after she left the room, was swaying on its own. Back and forth. Back and forth. And beneath it, a soft golden light shimmered on the floor. Micah crept closer. As he stepped on the glowing patch of carpet, the floor melted beneath him like a drop of sunlight on warm chocolate. He gasped, then tumbled gently through the floor, falling not with fear, but with laughter. He landed softly on moss that smelled of vanilla rain and cinnamon. He looked up and saw purple skies, glowing rivers, and trees with leaves shaped like stars. "Where am I?" "Nyumbani," said a voice. Micah spun around. Before him stood a firefly the size of a mango, glowing like a living lantern. Her wings shimmered with music. "I'm Zuri," said the firefly. "Welcome, Dreamwalker." "Dreamwalker?" Micah whispered. "You followed the drum. That means the Dreamkeeper chose you." "Who's the Dreamkeeper?" Zuri buzzed in a slow circle. "The guardian of dreams. The one who keeps all children's hopes safe. But he's asleep now. The whispering sand put him to sleep. The world of dreams is fading. That's why you're here." Micah's heart thudded. "What can I do?" Zuri pointed with a glowing wing. "Find the drum of remembering. Only it can wake the Dreamkeeper." Micah looked down. Around his neck now hung a tiny drum made of golden wood, small enough for a hummingbird. "Use this drum to summon what's forgotten," Zuri said. "But you must pass 3 trials, the Dunes of Melody, the River of Reflections, and Mount Moonchant." Micah gulped. "That's a lot." Zuri winked. "You're small. But your courage is tall." And so began Micah's journey. The Dunes of Melody. The first place they came to was the Dunes of Melody, rolling hills of glowing sand that sang when the wind blew. Each grain sparkled with sound. But the winds were tricky and often made the music sad or confused. There, Micah met his first companion, Tamba, a lion cub with golden eyes and a tail tipped in stardust. "I don't like silence," Tamba said. "It makes me forget who I am." Micah nodded. "Then let's make music." He tapped the drum gently. Doom, doom, doom. The dunes shimmered. Melodies bloomed like flowers in the air, soft notes like lullabies, bright ones like laughter. But then a dark wind blew. The whispering sand. It swirled around them, making the song sound strange and scary. Micah held Tamba close. "Don't listen to the wind," Zuri buzzed. "Drum your truth." Micah closed his eyes and thought of Grandma Nia's stories. He thought of warm cocoa, kind smiles, and bedtime kisses. He drummed those memories, doom, 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 until the whispering sand quieted and melted back into the hills. "You passed the first trial," Zuri whispered. The River of Reflections. They journeyed on until they reached a river so still it looked like glass. It reflected not just faces, but feelings. Micah peered in and saw his own image, but it was scared. This river shows who you are inside, Zuri said. Even the parts you hide. Micah saw his reflection again. This time, it was lonely. Afraid of not being enough. He didn't want anyone to see that. Tamba stepped forward. It's okay to feel small. Even I do. But we are mighty in heart. Micah nodded. He drummed a soft rhythm, doom doom doom, and the river rippled, showing a new reflection, himself smiling, holding hands with Zuri and Tamba, courage lighting his eyes. He had passed the second trial. The forest of forgotten names. Before reaching the mountain, the trio wandered through a dark forest where names faded from memory. Don't forget who you are, warned Zuri. Trees whispered strange names. You are nobody. You are too quiet. You are just a boy. Micah's knees wobbled. But then he remembered. I am Micah. Son of dreamers. Believer in stars. I am brave. He struck the drum hard, doom. The forest quaked. Names rained from the trees like autumn leaves, and each one turned into a glowing firefly. You remembered, said Zuri. That was the hardest test of all. Mount Moonchant. The last trial awaited at the peak of Mount Moonchant. It rose tall, with clouds shaped like lullabies and winds that hummed forgotten songs. At the top lay a stone door covered in moonlight. Micah raised his drum. But no sound came. He had no rhythm left. I'm tired, he said. Then he heard voices, distant, familiar. My Micah, said Grandma Nia's voice. Your story is just beginning. He remembered everything. How she told him that dreams are stronger when shared. He lifted the drum. Zuri glowed. Tamba roared a playful roar. And Micah played the rhythm of his story. Doom. 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 The door opened. Inside was the Dreamkeeper, a giant lion made of stars and old stories, asleep in a nest of clouds. Micah approached and played one final beat. The Dreamkeeper's eyes opened. You've remembered the forgotten, the lion said. Now all children may dream freely again. Light exploded like fireworks in the sky. The whispering sand was gone. Coming home, Micah blinked, and found himself back in bed. The window was closed. The chair still. But on his nightstand lay a tiny golden drum. And on the breeze, a whisper, dream well, dreamwalker.